Hello guys! We are doing a dirty Q&A. I did another one of these on Patreon, which I will link down below. I have probably like 6, 7, or 8 of them on there that are exclusive to Patreon, so if you want to see more of these every month, that is where you can find them. But I have a couple of questions here that we're going to go over. If you want to leave me any dirty Q&A questions, my Ask FM is where you can do it, or on Patreon, and that assures that those get answered first. So let's get into it. Okay, first question. Have you ever tried something sexual you thought you might not like but ended up liking it? No, and I don't mean no like, no, I don't want to try anything new. I mean, I'm pretty open, like my mindset is I'll try anything once, like essentially anything. I mean, there's obviously some hard limits, like I'm not here to play with bodily fluids or anything, but like I'll try most things once, and if somebody brings it up to me, I can see typically like the appeal of it, right? Like whether it's more dominant sex or like a fantasy or role play or something, I can see why it might be a turn on for the other person, and even just the idea of my partner being turned on, it can get me like to want to try it, you know? And typically I like it because then you see your partner being like, this is the hottest shit ever, and I really appreciate when I'm turning on my partner, like it makes me hotter, right? Like, and I think that's what good sex is, both of you just trying your hardest to turn on the other person and get them where they need to go. Do you think it's normal for a guy who's heterosexual to finger his ass? Have you fingered your ass? I don't really do butt stuff. Like, I talked about this in the Patreon Q&A, and you can see more about that there, but it's just not like my cup of tea. I haven't been with a partner that's like wanted it so bad that I'm like, all right, let's try it. But no, I don't really play with my butt. And as far as you liking it, your prostate's up there. Of course you would like it. Like that's like your G-spot. That's your like orgasm button, you know? So of course you would like it. There's nothing weird about that at all. People have different likes and dislikes, and just because it's up your butt doesn't make it inherently anything. When you're about to orgasm with a partner, do you say it out loud that you're about to? I tend to be pretty vocal with my partners, like just letting them know where I'm at like most times, you know? So I tend to. Yeah, and I also appreciate it when my partner lets me know where they're at as well. Is there anything sexual your girlfriends do but you don't do, or vice versa? That's a good question. I mean, there's things that they have done that I haven't done yet, but nothing that they're like, I do this, and I'm like, I am so against that. Like, I would never, you know? It's just like we've had different sexual lives, so they have gotten to do things that I haven't experienced yet. And I mean, there's nothing that I'm necessarily closed off to 100% that I'd be like, oh, I'm never doing that. And I don't think there's anything that I do that they're like, oh, fucking nope. So not really. My friends and I, like, and that's the thing, I think you can probably tell, like, I talk about sex a lot, so my friends are also pretty sexually open, and we, like, talk about this stuff, and we swap stories, and it's just, like, a very open friendship where we just talk about it because it's a fun thing and it's not taboo. Like, I think it's so important for especially female friendships to be able to talk about their experiences and what's worked for them and what hasn't, and just share, because sex is such a fun thing. It's such a fun topic of conversation that it's a big part of a lot of my friendships, us just like talking about it. What are your personal sexual insecurities? Usually with a new partner, I'm not the most confident about my boobs because they are pretty small. And I am still planning, like, one day down the line I'll probably get a boob job. It was gonna happen sometime this year, but like prioritizing my house came first, right? So that's always something that I'm kind of like, but it's a fake it till you make it sort of thing, right? And I've never had a complaint, ever in my life. So I fake the confidence, and then typically people are like, I love your boobs. So then I'm like, okay, well here they are, check them out. With a new partner, there's always some insecurity and some awkwardness, right? So it's just after the first time, I find that things just go a lot smoother. And that's why I think like communication before, during, and after is so vital. True or false? Within the first 5 minutes, you know if you want to bang a dude. Historically, like, okay, just based on looks, true. For me. Like, I can see somebody and I'm like, I'm sexually attracted to them. But that doesn't always mean that I'm like, I'm gonna bang you, because sometimes people open their mouths and it ruins everything. Or sometimes they open their mouths and like I was like, no, I'm not super sexually attractive, and it helps everything. Personality is really like 50-50 for me. Like, it's looks and personality 50-50 for sexual attraction, right? Because I need to be physically attracted to the person, but I also need to like them as a human being. Like, I don't have to be in love with them, or I don't have to be like, oh, I want to be with you, but I have to think that they're not a shitty human being, you know? And that is it for this Q&A. If you guys liked it, make sure to thumbs up so I know that you want to see more. I try to do one of these every month on this channel or on my main channel, so subscribe to both. And again, I do these every month, well, once or twice a month on my Patreon, so check that out. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Leave questions on Ask FM or Patreon, and I will see you later.